Did you know that over 2/3 of cyclists listen to music or podcasts while riding? That's a huge number of us. But traditional in-ear or on-ear headphones block out the sound around us while we're out on the road, which obviously isn't safe. There's also several other reasons, which I'll go through in a minute, as to why traditional headphones just, well, honestly, suck for cycling. Today I'm going to give you the lowdown on the brand new Shokz OpenRun Pro 2s, which were released just last week. And I did buy these with my own money. This isn't a sponsored product review. With so many sports headphone options out there, what makes these the standout for cyclists, even though these are obviously marketed towards runners, given their name? Well, let's find out. I'm Jonny, a coach and personal trainer who in the last few years has found a passion for training on two wheels. Join me as I document my journey to become a stronger cyclist, whilst hopefully sharing some of my coaching knowledge to help you too. See you on the road. So before we go through all of the features and I also give my 2 cents, I just want to address the 3 main issues as to the struggles we come across as cyclists when wanting to listen to music whilst out on the road, and how these headphones get around them all. Actually, really brilliantly. So firstly, safety. As I mentioned in the intro, safety is obviously of paramount importance whilst we're out on the road. The last thing we want is to get knocked over because we didn't hear a car coming. Obviously normal headphones, such as the Beats I used to use, which are in-ear, or even on-ear headphones, which you obviously can't get over your helmet anyway, block out the majority of the sound that we could potentially hear whilst we're out on the road. How these headphones get around that is they use what's called bone conduction technology. So they essentially sit just in front of your ear on that little bone in front there and play music sort of through your bone, if you like, and then also into your ear from in front of it as well. This leaves your ear completely open, able to hear all of the sounds around you whilst you're out on the road. Secondly, sound quality is often an issue as well. When we're going pretty quick on the bike, unlike running for example, we obviously get lots of wind rushing past our ears, and well, if your ears are as big and sticky outy as mine, you often struggle to hear the music because you've got so much wind blowing around them. But again, these headphones get around that quite well, and they actually have 2 speakers within them as well, one that kind of handle the lows and the bass, and then one that handles the highs as well. So the sound quality is actually really impressive, and the sound quality is meant to be vastly superior to the Shokz OpenRun Pro ones. I did actually find whilst I was out on the road, and again because of the size of my ears and the sticky outiness of them, that I did struggle occasionally to hear the music just a little bit. But I think that given your ears are open, you're going to struggle to completely cut out that wind noise, especially when sort of you're going downhill or descending. But obviously you probably mostly need the music when you're riding up a climb for that motivation, where they obviously perform really brilliantly. Thirdly, comfort. Obviously as cyclists we've already most likely and hopefully got a helmet on, and then also cycling glasses as well. So it's sometimes really tricky to find a pair of headphones that can kind of sit on or around your ears whilst also not getting in the way of your helmet strap or the arms of your glasses as well. The Shokz do have a little loop which goes over your ear, but actually I found that this doesn't get in the way at all of the stuff that I've already got on my head, and I found the best course of action was to put my headphones on first, then put my helmet on, and then obviously glasses over your helmet strap. In the past, I have found that my ears are a little bit of a funny shape, so I often struggle to fit headphones in, especially things like AirPods, for example. These really fit in brilliantly, very comfortably, and they don't kind of, even though they open like this, they don't squeeze on your head too much, and they are just really comfortable to wear no matter how long I've been out riding. So you can already see how these are going to be a standout for a cyclist, but now I'm going to go through all the features, things like battery life, connectivity, price, water resistance, you name it, I'm going to cover it. Do stay tuned though, because after this I'll go through exactly whether I think these are worth it or not, given their price. But do let me know down in the comments, do you listen to music whilst riding or podcasts, and what headphones do you currently use? I'm interested to know. So the battery life's pretty decent. It gives you 12 hours on a single charge, which is obviously more than enough for a single ride, as long as you're not doing some kind of crazy endurance event. And that's 2 hours over the version 1 of these headphones, which was 10 hours originally. The headphones charge via USB-C and also come with a cable too, although most of us will have one of these lying around anyway. And what's brilliant as well is the quick charge function. So if you put these on before you head out on a ride and suddenly realise that there's no power in them whatsoever, then just plugging them in for 5 minutes. It'll give you 2.5 hours of listening time. There are some headphones out there which have a longer battery life, but actually this is usually because of the little charging case that they come in. I think my Beats go up to 24 hours or something like that, but actually the headphones themselves only do 7 because of the battery within them. So actually they're pretty good, pretty comparable to most other sports headphones, and really you're probably not going to need a 12-hour battery life in these. You'll probably just have to make sure that each week you give them a bit of a charge before you head out. Secondly, operation, because they need to be easy to use whilst we're out on the road. We need to be able to skip songs, turn it up, turn it down, whilst we're moving on the bike. So on the right hand side there are two buttons, so you've got volume up and volume down, and on one of them as well you have to sort of hold it down and that will turn the headphones on or off as well. On the left hand side of the headphones there's a nice big button as well, which is super easy to press whilst out. Just clicking it once will play or pause music and also pick up or hang up the phone as well if someone's calling you. To go to the previous song you just triple press it, and then to go to the next song you just double press it. So really super easy to do. Does everything you need. You don't really need any more functions whilst you're out riding and listening to your music. Connectivity, great as you'd expect. You're not going to come across any issues if you have your phone in your pocket and your headphones on your head. Obviously they connect via Bluetooth, and they also have an app as well. There's sort of different equalizer options which you can choose between. I've just kind of left it on the standard because that's the one I think sounds best. In terms of water resistance, their rating is IP55, which is just essentially good enough for splashes. So things like sweat, puddles, for example, or if you get caught out in the rain as well, they should be completely fine. So obviously not fully waterproof, but given these aren't necessarily specific swimming headphones, then I think most of us should be okay with what they're rated to. In terms of microphone, they do have one in them, and it's said to kind of block out external wind noise through some kind of algorithm or AI, and it does that really well actually. I've called my wife a couple of times whilst out on the bike and going pretty quickly as well, and she said she could hear me pretty clearly. It did cut out a lot of the sound. However, I did actually find that when I was out, I couldn't really hear her very well, so I had to turn the headphones right up to be able to hear her at all whilst I was out on the road. And then obviously once she hung up the phone, then my music started blasting out at full volume as well. So that's maybe one of the downsides. I don't know why, but just struggled to hear her while out on the road, but she could hear me completely fine. Next, these headphones are meant to have what's called leak-free private listening, or at least that's what it says on the website anyway, so that when you do have these on, even though they're not in your ears, no one else can hear what you're listening to. But actually I found this definitely isn't the case. Now just have a listen to this. This is kind of on 3/4 volume. So pretty easy to hear what I'm listening to, which obviously isn't great if you're in a gym environment, for example. Obviously we're talking about cycling today, so it doesn't really matter too much if other people can potentially hear what you're listening to. But that's just one of the things that I thought would be really cool given the sort of bone conduction technology. I thought it'd be, playing through my cheekbones and no one else would be able to hear a thing. It would just be me listening to the music inside my brain. But actually you can hear the music externally, which is obviously a bit of a pitfall because you wouldn't really get that with in-ear headphones, but again, probably not too much of an issue when you're out on the road. In terms of style, I think they look pretty good. Not that that's something I was really looking for. As long as they play music well and I can hear it whilst I'm out on the bike and also listen to my surroundings, then brilliant. But they do look pretty decent, and there's also two sizes you can buy as well. One kind of larger size, or one normal size if you like, so that's the one I've got because my head's pretty big, and then one mini size which is designed for sort of smaller heads, I think. They also come in two colours, so black, which is the one I've got, and then also orange as well. The Shokz OpenRun Pro ones had a multitude of different colours, even a Kipchoge style one as well, so they might in the end sort of come out with more, but given these just released, they've got two colours available right now. Finally, price. Here in the UK they were £170, whereas in the US I think they're around about $180. Now compared to a lot of other sort of sports or even normal headphones, that's pretty good going. I think my Beats when I first got them set me back around about £270, so these are a bargain compared. For some of the other sort of cheaper Beats headphones, they're around about $180, so this is kind of on par with them. And compared to Apple's AirPods, because for some reason these seem to be really popular, obviously probably not great for cycling, but they're around about £170, so again, a similar price. And if you want to get the AirPods Pro, then that's £230, so a little bit of a higher price. So I'd say they stack up really well, and obviously cycling is pretty expensive as it is, so you don't want to be spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds on a set of headphones, so I think £170 for these, pretty comparable to everything else out there, and for the quality that they output, pretty decent. I'd give them a solid 8 out of 10. They do exactly what they need to. You can hear the music really well, helps motivate you, and you can also hear the road around you perfectly, which is obviously brilliant and what we need as cyclists. As I mentioned, there are one or two drawbacks, not being able to hear people on the phone as well as I thought I might be able to whilst out on the road. Potentially when going fast, having to turn them up quite high, obviously with the wind noise going past, but you can't necessarily get away from that, given that your ears are open to be able to hear the road. You're going to get the wind rushing past you, whatever headphones you're wearing. They're super comfortable. I've worn them for multiple hours without feeling any discomfort at all, even with my helmet and glasses on as well. And obviously with the 12-hour battery life, they've lasted for all of my long rides and probably will do for yours too. So I think they're a no-brainer really, whether you're looking to replace a current set of headphones you've got, or you're looking to buy your first set to be able to listen to music whilst out on the bike. I certainly will be wearing these for the foreseeable future, definitely safer over my Beats headphones, and at the price point of £170, well, it's cheaper than a lot of the other stuff I've got on my bike. Now I want to hear from you. Have you tried Shokz headphones? What do you use to listen to music whilst out on the road? Drop your comments below. If you like this video, do check out this one here where I gave my first impressions of my Garmin Rally power pedals, which I still use to this day. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Ride strong, and I'll catch you in the next one.